I rate this game 5.5 out of 10, and now let me tell you why I decided to delete this game right after this first initial review. Now let's talk about the combat. Is it good? Is it bad? And honestly, from what I've seen online, a lot of people shit on the game just for that reason, and since I'm not everyone, I decided to create my own little experiment where I blindfolded my ass and tried to win the game just by clicking left click. And guess what? I actually won, and I think that tells you enough about the difficulty of the game. But honestly, let's just look at the full package of the game with the skills, with the ultimates, with the characters. And honestly, let me start off by saying that even Genshin is more difficult than that. You know, in Genshin Impact, at least you have to learn the element system to deal more damage, but honestly in ZZZ, there's none of that. There's no real synergy between the characters, which honestly can be a very positive point, but also a very negative point, just because you use whatever character you want. In Genshin Impact you have to use one specific team comp to deal more damage, but CZD has none of that. So I guess use whatever character you want, whatever character you like to use, go ahead, use it. So I guess your main team would look like 1 DPS, 1 support, 1 healer. Yeah, never mind, you don't need no healer because you don't need that. Yeah, never mind, 1 DPS, 2 supports, or 2 supports, 1 DPS, and you will absolutely destroy the game. Forget it, man. No healer. Fuck that. But honestly, when I really think about it back, I've been enjoying quite a lot of it, just because I've caught myself smiling quite often, just because the animations look so fluid, the skills are pretty nice. And the ultimates, they look very nice, man. They're very flashy and very cool. So if you really like a combat where you turn off your brain, I would say that it's pretty much your game. But if you like somewhat a combat like Wuthering Waves, yeah, this game won't do it for you, man. So let's just move on to the next point. Red Dead Redemption 2. Wait, what has Red Dead Redemption 2 to do with ZZZ? Well, for instance, it's the fucking 100 gigabyte fucking file size. What the fuck? You should have seen my face when I saw how much I had to download just to try out this game with. But honestly, when I really think back about it, I actually see where the file size actually comes from, and that is the extremely good looking graphics. The game looks extraordinary. What? Wow, wow, it looks fucking good. For instance, the city, it looks so alive. You have many different NPCs. You have so many different characters that actually talk to you. You have the Bumble class, that's how I call them. Then you have the different music and the lights, the night sky, the sun, the whatever, bro. It's so much detail, and the shading and everything. The art style is impeccable. But the thing is, it gets repetitive very often, just because, especially if you're claustrophobic, that's how you call it, yeah. That's how you call it. You will get bored of the city very fast, because after 10 hours, 15 hours of gameplay, it gets repetitive very often. What I really want to see from ZZZ is that when we have winter and fall and summer and spring, I would love to see the seasons in full action, you know. So it feels way more immersive, and actually get some more get more events that actually have to do with the period that we are in, but also have something. Now let's talk about the combat zone, and honestly it gets very repetitive as well, just because in the first hour of the gameplay you're here, but in the 10, 15, 20, maybe even 100 hours of gameplay, you're still in the game in the same goddamn spot. But what the fuck is going on? I would love to see more streets, more different settings where you actually combat the monsters, and maybe some malls, some whatever, supermarkets, hotels, whatever, bro. Just switch it up. Since it's just 1.0, I'm not gonna be too harsh on the game and actually give some suggestions here. You have them, supermarkets, small hotels, malls, whatever, use them. It's in different settings. Please, it gets repetitive way too fast, bro. Please, for the love of God. Next up, let's talk about the story. And honestly, ZZZ, congrats to you. You have developed a very unique way of developing and telling the story, because honestly you have the comic, you have the cutscenes, and you have the type of visual novel type of way of telling stories when characters talk between themselves. And honestly it creates a much different vibe than we've seen before, and honestly it's very nice. I kind of appreciate it. But then you have the TV, man. You have the TV that just completely fucks everything up, especially in that one story with Nekomata where you have to put the bombs or whatever was it in the bombs in the train, and it sometimes really breaks the immersion. Like honestly, it works sometimes, but honestly, sometimes it really fucking doesn't, and they really have to find a better balance and better way to tell the story. Just because sometimes when you're in the TV mode, you have that one voice that really stops you from the flow of the story and tells you, hey, should you do this? Do you want to take this item? And honestly, I don't give a shit, man. Let me experience the story and don't bombard me with texts and speeches every single second. Just let me play the fucking story, man. Just leave me alone. The voice acting in the game is also very good, and compared to Wuthering Waves 1.0, wow, it's so much better. And honestly, congrats to Hoyoverse for doing such an amazing job with their voice acting direction, because holy shit, it's 10 levels above Wuthering Waves. Not even, bro. It's so much better, and I have to say. Now let's talk characters, because honestly I have no fucking idea what the fuck they've been thinking, because the TV it just fucks up the characters. I know it has nothing to do with the characters, but honestly, let me explain. 80% of the time you're in the fucking TV mode, and then when you have a little bit of combat, depending how strong your fucking character is, you will barely fucking get to use them. So what the fuck is my fucking need to pull in this fucking game? Just because I barely get to use them? Yeah, sure, I get to see them in the fucking city sometimes, but this section just makes me fucking mad. You can say I'm cursing all the fucking time. I really don't see the need to pull in this game just because you barely see the characters. But when it comes to character design, honestly, it's pretty good, especially Ellen, Alexandrina. She has the same name as me, and I have to say, very nice. I fucking love her, and the boobies in this fucking game are insane, bro. You have a lot of children in the game, but you also have real good looking women in this game. So you have somewhat of a balance. You have some furries, we don't give a shit about that, honestly. But yeah, when it comes to character design, props to them. The animations look very nice, the voice acting is very nice. So altogether, very nice. But as I said, there's no need to pull them. Please fix the TV, because it fucks your entire fucking game. Please. I've seen a lot of people just complaining about the UI UX in the game, and honestly I have to say I'm very happy about it, but at some instances I'm very not happy about it. What I'm really liking about it is the fact that it's very innovative, it's very unique, and it completely complements the vibe of the game, which I have to say very nice. And I'm very happy that they didn't just use the typical Genshin Wuthering Waves HSR type of design, and they didn't get lazy with it. I'm really happy about that. But then when I think about it on the other side, the first time I wanted to use my character to go into combat, I didn't even know where to click to actually confirm the character that I wanted. I had to spend 2 minutes just looking around, and I barely saw that the big ass button you have to click, because it's such an unusual place you have to go and click onto. And there's many more instances like that in the game where I was very confused and didn't know what to do and where to click. It's a very unique type of presenting the game, but honestly I can really appreciate the fact that they've really put a lot of effort and thoughts into it. And I guess it's just my problem. It is a problem of the players, honestly, just because they have to get used to it. But yeah, one last thing I want to bring up is my confusion. Now, honestly, maybe you can enlighten me on this, because I have no idea what the fucking target audience of this game is. For instance, the game is plus 16 because of the boobies probably, but then you have such an easy combat that even a toddler could play it, and I don't see many adults playing that type of shit. But then you have the story. Yeah, sure, you could say adults are going to play for the story because it's some type of visual novel and it looks good, and then yada yada. But then there's not many adult themes going on. So honestly, as a 23-year-old adult, I really don't see the attraction to play this game. And honestly, I'm very confused what type of demographics they are trying to hit. For that reason, maybe you can enlighten me. I have no idea. Please let me know in the comments. After like 15 hours of gameplay, at level 18 in the internauts, and since level 10, I was like, man, I don't want to play this anymore. For instance, yeah, I really don't want to play it anymore. For that reason, I think I'm gonna go back to Wuthering Waves, because I'm really enjoying that. The story, the characters, the world building is so much better. But that's for another story, another time. My name is Lexo, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out. Take care.